Call the meeting to order. Everyone please rise for the invocation and the pledge led by Mr. Mark Sorensen.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. Thank you for watching over us. We also want to lift up the farmers, keep them safe and out of harm's way with the upcoming harvest season. Be with us tonight as we go through our agenda. Help us make the right decisions for our county. I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask clerk, please call the roll.
John McCoy.
Here.
Tim Finley.
Here.
Robert Rich.
Here.
Brad Poulter.
Here.
David McCleary.
Here.
Les Post.
Here.
Teresa Bachhold. Joe Zenger.
Here.
Brent Fisher.
Here.
Todd Oosterhouse.
Here.
Brett Austin.
Here.
Keith Calloway.
Here.
Mark Sorensen.
Here.
Art Fletcher.
Here.
Raheem Camper.
Here.
Dave Bellis.
Here.
Marvin Kirkhoff. Mark Dietrich. Steve McQueen.
Here.
Travis Cooley.
Here.
Kent Snyder.
Here.
20 present,
20 present, 1
1 absent.
absent. I declare a quorum. I have an award presentation tonight. I'll come out front. So this award this evening is pretty special because it's somebody that I'm very, very fond of. Spent a lot of time talking with daily. You all know him. He's been on job for 29 years. I don't sign anything that I'm given from this board without him reading it first. Gary Farrar, would you please come up? Gary started in 1995, so it's been 29 years. And it says, with our great appreciation presented to Gary Farrar, I got fingerprints all over it, in recognition of your years of dedicated service and countless contributions to the citizens of Adams County. Thank you for the Adams County Board and the citizens. Art Snyder, Chairman. First time I've ever seen Gary say this. I got through that much better than I thought I was going to get through it. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve minutes is printed.
Second by Mr.
I have
Deucehouse.
a correction, please.
Okay.
On page 4, under Public Health and Safety, the 4th line should read the tactical medical instead of technical.
I got it. Thank you.
You got it? Okay. Ryan's got it. He'll make
Thank
that
you.
change. Okay, so, any other corrections? Okay, we have motion by Mr. Deucehouse, second by Mr. Sorensen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved with the change. Transportation, Billing and Technology, Mr. Bellis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee met tonight at 6 o'clock in the law library. We reviewed the bills, seemed to be in order. We had reports from county engineer, IT department, and courthouse maintenance. We had a progress payment for the EFS on the north side of the building. You all can drive by and see it's about maybe a third done. They're moving right along. The courthouse HVAC engineering work, they've been in contact. They're working on the study, and they had a progress payment. And then on the third floor, we have the pretrial services. That office that we're renting to the state is 95% done. They'll be moving in probably next week or the first what's this, September, October. And we have two resolutions. If the clerk would read those, please.
First resolution is 2024-09-501-022, resolution reporting bids and awarding the contract and appropriating $465,000 from the county bridge fund to pay for a removal and replacement of the existing culvert, the installation of a manhole, and other work on a county bridge fund project number 817 located on the North 30th Street, approximately 700 feet of Locust Street in Ellington Township.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Bellis, second by Mr. Zanger. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved.
Resolution number 2024-09-501-023, resolution reporting bids and awarding the contract and appropriating $75,000 from the county bridge fund to pay for the repair of SN 0013173 on county bridge fund project number 821 located on East 2100th Street, approximately 2.5 miles northwest of Camp Point and Camp Point Road District.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. McCleary,
Second.
second by Mr. Bellis. Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved.
Our next meeting will be October 15th, 6 o'clock in the law library.
Did you give an update already on HVAC and
Yeah, the engineers have been here. They're working on the design, and the ethos out back is about a third done, and
Okay.
they're moving right along.
very good. Thank you, Mr. Bellis. Legislative and judicial, Mr. Rich.
Mr. Chairman, committee met this evening circuit clerk, juvenile detention, probation department, public defender, state's attorney, supervised assessments, all the bills are in order. We have the following items to do this evening. We have one appointment, if the clerk would read it, please.
Appointment of Sean Lewis to the Indian Grave Drainage District for a 3-year term commencing on the first Tuesday of September 2024.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Rich, second by Mr. Kirkhoff. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Appointment is approved.
We have several liquor licenses. I would let the clerk read C first.
1-day liquor permit for Coatesburg Lions Club on October 26, 2024 for the Honey Creek Deer Classic from 12 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time.
Motion to approve.
Bob, we're gonna put them all together.
We're gonna do them all? Okay,
I think he was doing it that way because they're due to 2 different entities.
Oh, they're doing two different?
yeah.
Oh, okay,
This is
sorry.
different than the rest.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
see, they're one and then
Yeah, the
Red Dog's
others
got the
are all
rest.
alike, yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mr. Rich, second by Mr. McCoy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Liquor license approved.
And I would ask the clerk to read D through J.
A 1-day liquor permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC for October 27th from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. 8000 Broadway Street, Quincy. A 1-day permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC on October 13th, 2024 from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. at 8000 Broadway Street, Quincy. 1-day permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC for October 6, 2024 from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. at 8000 Broadway Street, Quincy. 1-day liquor permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC for September 29th, 2024 from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. at 8000 Broadway Street. A 1-day liquor permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC for September 22nd from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. at 8000 Broadway Street, Quincy. A 1-day liquor permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC for September 15th from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. at 8000 Broadway Street in Quincy. And the last one's a 1-day liquor permit for Red Dog Saloon 3 LLC for September 9th from 4 p.m. until 11:59 p.m. at 8000 Broadway Street, Quincy, Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Rich,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. McCoy. Any discussion?
Just clarification, I was trying to figure out where the heck 8000 Broadway was, and out the Red Dog Saloon is in Meyer, but it is when they have the contract to do the raceways, and this is to help the raceways, and ultimately they'll have their own liquor license, so
Yep.
it's a good deal for everybody.
Any other questions?
So Bob, did I understand right, this is just to finish out the season, we won't have to deal with this all next summer?
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, no other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Liquor licenses are approved.
We have one pyrotechnic display, if I'd have the clerk would read it.
Pyrotechnic display permit for Paul Mass for an event on August 26, 2024 at the Cedar Crest Country Club starting at 9 p.m. with no alternative date provided.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Rich,
Second.
second by Mr. Kirkhoff. Any discussion? And yes, he did already have it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We have no other things with county code, et cetera. We will meet again at 5:45 on October 15th. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chairman.
you, Mr. Rich. Public Health and Safety, Ms. Fletcher.
Mr. Chairman, your Public Health and Safety Committee met this evening at 5:30 p.m. We went over the bills from the Emergency Management and Ambulance, the coroner, the sheriff, and the VAC. All appeared to be in order. We received a report from the Adams County Sheriff's Office. They had 2 new hires, 1 deputy and 1 in the jail, 1 departure in the jail. Their population report, they had average daily population of 99. 9 of those are federal inmates. We received a written report and verbal report from Coroner Graham. He reported that there were 90 reported deaths for the month of August. That's still up quite considerably from normal in the summer. There were 4 autopsies, 1 abandoned remain, and 51 cremation permits issued during the month of August. We also received a report from EMS and Ambulance Director John Simon. He said the search the other day for the gentleman who was missing went very well. They also provided assistance in the form of the mobile command post to Macomb during the officer-involved shooting. They staffed it for about 24 hours. Their calls are still up. This month they were 41 over their 2023 average, or their numbers for 2023. We received a report from Adams County VAC Superintendent Paul Havermail. He reported that as of today, they've seen 204 clients, and that's about a 70-30 split between general assistance and VA benefits. They have brought in $450,000 in new benefits to the County of Adams since they started in January. So that's a great job. And I also want to report on behalf of the VAC, which I've been a little bit involved with them since they started. And I want everybody to know that Mr. Havermail does an outstanding job. Anybody who thinks that he's just in his office, daily from 9 to 5 is really missing the boat, because Mr. Havermail, he takes patients to Iowa City in the middle of the night. He deals with, his phone is on 24/7. He takes care of veterans in crisis no matter what the time of day. He sits with them at Blessing Hospital. If they're in mental or drug crisis, he takes them to Iowa City. He does whatever they need, no matter the time of day or night. And I can't tell you how impressed I am with the work that Mr. Havermail is doing over there at the VAC and the service that he is providing to our veterans. It's absolutely amazing. So thank you, Paul, for everything you're doing for our veterans.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Fletcher.
I'd also like to report and invite everybody. There is a 9/11 commemoration ceremony that will be held tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. In front of the Quincy City Hall. And we will be honoring 9/11 and first responders. And then afterwards, from approximately probably 11 to 1, there will be a free lunch at the Quincy American Legion Post 37. And that will be a free lunch for all first responders. So come on by and participate in the ceremony. It's really very moving. if you haven't done that before. We had no new business, no appointments, and no executive session. The meeting adjourned, and we will meet again in the ROE conference room on October 15th at 5:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Executive Committee, Mr. Austin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We met September 3rd at 5:30 here in the county boardroom. We didn't have any speakers or other reports. We did discuss several items related to ARPA and opioid. We'll deal with a couple of the ARPA ones in the finance section, but we do have two resolutions to discuss here. If the clerk could read A, please.
Resolution number 2024-09001027. Resolution to authorize the use of $30,000 of funds from the Adams County, Illinois Opioid Committee, said funds being from the National Opioid Settlement Fund, for the implementation of a program to assist in the treatment and recovery of individuals in the Adams County Jail.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Austin, second by Mr. Rich. Discussion?
This is a, remember we have the opioid board, actually committee, but somewhat of a board with fiduciary oversight and vetted this, and this was a unanimously approved program that they're going to start inside the Adams County Jail with money that we've already received through the settlement funds.
Any questions? I think we'll do a roll call vote on this.
Joe McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post,
Yes.
Teresa Bachhold, Joe Zinger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Todd Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Fred Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Barb Fletcher,
Yes.
Ryan Heenkamper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich, Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Ken Snyder.
Yes.
20 in favor, 1 absent.
20 in favor, 1 absent. Resolution is approved.
If the clerk could read B, please.
Resolution approving the appointment of a board member for the Mid-America Intermodal Authority Port District as nominated by the 11 County Board Chairman of Adams, Brown, Cass, Hancock, Henderson, Mercer, Morgan, Pike, Schuyler, Scott, in Warren County for resolution number 2024-01-001-031.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Austin, second by Ms. Fletcher. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved.
We didn't have any other new business in the executive committee, and we will meet on, I believe, because of the date range, it's October 7th at 5:30 in the county boardroom. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Would you like to continue with finance?
Yes, thank you. We met September 9th yesterday here at 6 o'clock in the county boardroom. Reviewed all our bills. Those appeared to be in order. We didn't have any other speakers or reports. We do have several resolutions to get through and a little bit of discussion on each one. And you have some supporting paperwork for the ARPA related ones. If the clerk could read A, please.
Resolution number 2024-09-001-028, resolution to authorize the use of up to the amount of $250,000 of the Adams County, Illinois allotment of the American Rescue Plan Act money for the direct purpose of funding the Adams County CARES program.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Austin,
Second.
second by Mr. Cooley. Discussion?
In your handouts here that you have on your desk, you'll see that resolution with the 028 on the end of it. It says updated. That was updated through the finance committee yesterday. A lot of boilerplate language at the beginning, which has been in all of these resolutions. If you turn to the sort of the declarations part on the second page, the things that were changed from when this was originally set out was that it would be up to the amount of $250,000, and then I would like to amend this to say by September 30th, 2026, instead of by the end of 2026. By the end of 2026 is our final deadline to spend all the ARPA funds, actually spend them. So I'd like to give us a little bit of 3 months of wiggle room there, and you'll see that again in a future one. So if the clerk could, I'm making a motion to amend this to by September 30th, 2026, up to the amount of 250,000. And then at the last statement there was something we discussed in finance, which shall be contingent upon private or foundational fund matching, basically saying that instead of front loading $250,000, what we will do is match along the way from the date of this approval for the next roughly 2 years, just a little over 2 years. And that once we get to 250,000, that would be the cap. The goal is to match as funds get raised and also be partners in a program that's sustainable over years. So I thought those were some good suggestions by the Finance Committee. We all approved this unanimously, but if there's any questions, I can try to answer those now.
Any questions for Mr. Austin? Seeing none, I think we'll vote on the amendment first. We need. Yes. Oh, do we have a second on the
I'll
motion
second
for the
that.
amendment? Sorry. Okay. Amendment was motion by Brett, second by Mr. Cooley. So we'll vote on the amendment first. Voice vote. We'll just do a voice vote on that, and then we'll do a roll call vote on the actual motion. So all in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, the amendment's approved. Now we'll vote on the resolution itself. Roll call vote.
John McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post,
Yes.
Teresa Bachhold, Joe Zinger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Todd Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Brett Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Bart Fletcher,
Yes.
Ryan Camper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich, Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Kent Snyder.
Yes.
20 in favor, 1 absent.
20 in favor, 1 absent. Resolution is approved.
Just wanted to tell that a couple members of the coalition here that are here tonight, thank you for coming. Thank you for your work. And also thank you for fighting for what we need in our community for childcare, because it's been right up there with housing. It's one of the most severe problems we have that we need to address as a community. So keep up the good work on that. And I hope this helps. And we'll move on from there and let us know what other assistance we can help with. Next we have C, if the clerk could read that, please.
Resolution number 202409001029, resolution to authorize the use of and not to exceed $40,000 of the of the Adams County, Illinois allotment of the American Rescue Plan Act money for the direct purpose of funding construction of a new wastewater system at the Adams County Fairgrounds in Mendon, Illinois.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Austin.
Second. Oh.
Who said that? Oh, second by Mr. Rich. Discussion.
Thank you for reading B, even though I said C. This has been talked about for the last couple months. This is to improve the end part of the system of the wastewater system at the Adams County Fairgrounds. I think we've had this discussion several times that it was a little bit undersized, and this would be helping cure that system year round, even though sort of the capacity is only taxed once in a while. But this will get us out of the loop of having to continuously approve this, and also is in line with the other improvements that were made at the fairgrounds.
Any question for Mr. Austin? Roll call vote.
John McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post,
Yes.
Teresa Bachhold, Joe Zinger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Todd Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Brett Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Bart Fletcher,
Yes.
Ryan Camper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich,
Yes.
Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Kent Snyder.
Yes. 20 in favor, 1 absent. Resolution is approved.
Next we have the third ARPA related one. C, if the clerk could read that, please.
Resolution number 202409001030, resolution authorize the use of $90,000 of the Adams County, Illinois allotment of the American Rescue Plan Act money to enter into an intergovernmental agreement for the reconstruction of the City of Quincy's parking lot F located at 5th and Vermont Street.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Austin.
Second.
Second by Mr. Cooley. Discussion.
We've talked about this for almost 2 months now, month and a half. The city of Quincy is entering into some agreements to acquire property and also redo parking lot F, which is on the southwest corner of 5th and Vermont, right here, just diagonal from the courthouse. We do have a lot of staff that parks in that parking lot. It's a dated parking lot, and it has been on the city's schedule through the TIF funds to improve that parking lot for some time now. They have requested that we put some money into the situation because we do use it a lot, and this was the amount of money that we talked about. We did go through our resolution, and we made some updates. You have this page on your desk. It's the one that ends in 030. And you see in highlighted, it says the city of Quincy shall be responsible for the purchase and demolition of a building necessary to accomplish this project. The city of Quincy shall complete the design of this project, and the city of Quincy shall oversee the construction of said project. Ultimately, it is city of Quincy land and parking lot, but this does provide a great benefit to our staff, as it is an all-day parking lot, and the ease of getting in and out and the safety of the parking lot would be greatly improved, especially with the lighting. The city has also received and shared letters of support from the Kroc Center, the Washington Theater Commission, and the adjoining property owners to the east on 5th Street to support this project. And then a second amendment was that there should be a final completion date no later than September 30th, 2026, which is in line with what we just did with the child care, amending that so that we have a little bit of wiggle room. The schedule for the project would be to be done in 2025, as I understand it, but this at least gives us a little bit of ability to say, hey, we agreed to this being done at this date. Where are we at with that? So I think the amendments brought up by the Finance Committee were great. Thank you, Mr. Finley, Mr. Cooley, for bringing up some of those. And I think we're in good shape here. I didn't see any other things that really stood out with this, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions
question.
for Mr. Austin?
I had a question. I'm assuming that the building is just one that they've got like the casino and it's right here on 5th, correct?
That is the building that's in the lot, yeah.
Okay. And then I noticed that you've got like the acquisition of the city for that. And what about the lot that's just south of that? Is that also going to be part of the acquisition?
That's already owned by the city.
So it is owned by the city?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call vote.
John McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post,
Yes.
Teresa Bachhold, Joe Zanger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Todd Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Brett Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Bart Fletcher,
Yes.
Raheem Camper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich,
Yes.
Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Kent Snyder.
Yes.
20 in favor, 1 absent.
20 in favor, 1 absent. Resolution is approved.
Next we have related to personal property replacement tax. If the county clerk could read D, please.
Resolution number 202409001026, a resolution to reclassify personal property replacement tax revenue to the Adams County Health Department.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Austin. Second by Mr. Cooley. Discussion.
The amount is $50,000. We had not had a specific resolution for that since it's a inter-fund exchange, but the amount is $50,000. Really what happened here is sort of a math problem gone wrong from the state. Our health department has not really taxed anything in their general rate in the last 3 years. It's been a very minimal amount. Which is great, and they are to be commended for being a part of our county and a department that operates in the black continuously. Especially would like to commend Jared Welch, the director, in finding the amount of grant money that he finds. So what happens when that tax rate is so low that they're not requesting a bunch of money from the general fund is that the math works out that the personal property replacement tax just kind of falls out. But they do expect to get a floor of that money. And since the county, all counties in Illinois were capped at a certain amount of that money last year in the state budget, this really became zero in 2023. So last year we did this, and this year we'll do that. We'll continue to monitor it, but basically we've kind of made a de facto agreement that $50,000 would be the floor that the Adams County Health Department would get, and we would continue to do this transfer. If at such time they raise their tax rate within the Adams County Health Department line, that they get this amount of money or more on their own, then we would drop this transfer.
Any questions? Roll call vote.
John McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post,
Yes.
Teresa Backel, Joe Zinger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Todd Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Brett Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Bart Fletcher,
Yes.
Rainey Camper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich,
Yes.
Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Kent Snyder.
Yes.
20 in favor, 1 absent.
20 in favor, 1 absent. The resolution is approved.
We have 5 tax sale resolutions. 3 are parcels improved, and 2 are parcels improved, and 3 are mobile homes, I believe, from the numbers. If the clerk could just read all 5, and we would do a vote at once.
Tax sale resolution 09-24001 for PIN 2340465000000 located in the Quincy Township. Tax sale resolution number 09-24002 for PIN 2350735000000 located in the Quincy Township. Tax sale resolution number 09-24003 for PIN 200704 located in Melrose Township. Tax sale resolution number 09-24004 for PIN 201999 located in the Melrose Township. Tax sale resolution number 09-24005 for PIN 204100 located in Melrose Township.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Austin,
Second.
second by Mr. Finley. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
John McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post,
Yes.
Teresa Backold, Joe Zinger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Todd Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Brett Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Bart Fletcher,
Yes.
Rainey Camper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich,
Yes.
Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Kent Snyder.
Yes.
20 in favor, 1 absent.
20 in favor, 1 absent. Tax sales are approved.
Next, we have an additional fund appropriation from the Sheriff's Department. If the county clerk could read that, please.
Additional fund appropriation from Sheriff Grutens in the amount of $3,000 to revenue account number 231-231-4625. Grant swap for revised budget amount of $3,000 and $3,000 for expense account number 231-231-5719. Swap grant expense for revised budget amount of $3,000.
Move to approve.
Motion by Mr. Austin, second by Mr. Poulter. Discussion.
Thank you, Sheriff, for finding some grant money. Always great. Put it to good use. This is budget neutral otherwise than that.
Any questions? Roll call vote.
John McCoy,
Yes.
Tim Finley,
Yes.
Robert Rich,
Yes.
Brad Poulter,
Yes.
David McCleary,
Yes.
Les Post, Teresa Backold, Joe Zinger,
Yes.
Brent Fisher,
Yes.
Oosterhouse,
Yes.
Brett Austin,
Yes.
Keith Calloway,
Yes.
Mark Sorensen,
Yes.
Bart Fletcher,
Yes.
Rainey Camper,
Aye.
Dave Bellis,
Yes.
Marvin Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Mark Dietrich,
Yes.
Steve McQueen,
Yes.
Travis Cooley,
Yes.
Kent Snyder.
Yes.
20 in favor, 1 absent.
20 in favor, 1 absent. Fund appropriation is approved.
We discussed a little bit about budget. We're getting into the beginning of budget season. You can see the excitement on all the finance committee members' faces right now. 9/20 is what we set out for the department heads to get some of their info into the new ClearGov software. We understand there was a few glitches with some of the emails that went out, so we may extend that time a little bit, but we do need to get all those numbers in by the end of September at the latest, specifically salary-related numbers. So we'll be making some calls through the department heads and making sure, through the county board office, making sure they understand where they're entering, their logins, all of that. It's a lot of change this year, so we'll help in any way we can. I promise to the department heads out there, we will do that. And then we didn't talk too much about insurance, but Mr. Finley, did you have anything that we needed to talk about in terms of?
No updates since last meeting.
Okay, thank you. And then last but not least in the discussion and possible action, we actually had a fourth ARPA thing that we talked about, which was related to the South Quincy Drainage District. It wasn't approved at the executive committee level, but it wasn't for lack of merit. It was more for more understanding needed. So Mr. McQueen was originally who brought that up, and he's provided some presentation stuff for explanation of what that is. So I'll turn it over to Mr. McQueen to discuss this possible opportunity for ARPA funding.
IT, go ahead and put it up.
All right, so just to kind of level a little more detail around that proposal, the South Quincy Drainage and Levee District had requested funds earlier on several years ago as this project started to take place. Since that time, they've worked very diligently to get out and seek funds from the people in that district or the companies, the businesses, to be able to fund this larger project. And what I brought up last meeting or the meeting before, can't remember now, was that their new request was for $50,000 in ARPA funds for reestablishment of the authorized levee elevation in accordance with their guidance. That district, of course, is covered or encompasses all the businesses pretty much south of here on Highway 57 as you get down in front of the bluff. And basically there's 3 miles on the southern end of that levee that require much needed maintenance to raise those levels back to the design elevation that they're required to be at. Of course, that levee system, like all of them, is under the Corps of Engineers jurisdiction. The Corps does not fund any maintenance issues found on the levee. And funding for those projects, maintenance, pumping, etc., is strictly from the landowners within the district through tax assessments. As you can imagine, from the flood of 93 clear up until the one we had in 2019, which was the second highest on record, that levee always gets a tremendous amount of attention from not only the county, but from every one of those businesses down there, because so many jobs sit with all those businesses. And I know, their livelihoods depend on making sure that levee's stable and ready to go for a flood of that magnitude. The total project is estimated to cost approximately $1.2 million, which has, for the most part, to this point, been self-funded by commitments from the businesses behind that reside and operate behind that levee. Another thing to mention, important fact here would be that the West Quincy has basically stockpiled enough material that at this time, were we to have a flood, say in the spring, once you get to those higher flood stages and all the rules kind of go away, they can go much higher than we can with the elevation of their levee. To have a chance, we have to make sure that our levee's strong and meets all the Corps' requirements moving forward. Let me just move over here. This is a 3-phase project. Basically, the preliminary engineering was completed. They have already approximated 87,000 cubic yards of sand that would be required to bring the deficient sections back to the levels that the levee needs to reside at. Unsuitable material in phase 2 will be removed to expose the sand layers and then sand will be excavated from a borrow area and hauled to the levee system to the locations it needs to be placed. And then phase 3 out, is basically moving that material, and that would go a mile and a half basically in each direction to reach the areas, all of the areas where the levee needs maintenance and to be brought back up to standard. And actually, when we just real quick to talk about the impact of the drainage district, the South Quincy drainage district. I'm sorry. That would affect businesses like ADM, Huber Carbonates, Prince Minerals, which is now Vibrance, Fitzpatrick Brothers, McNay, MCS, and Kohl's Wholesale, Fibro, and a number of other small businesses and residents that reside in that area behind the levee. Of course, families have jobs that depend, they depend on a lot of their income coming from the jobs that they hold in that area. And what we're really talking about is something that would impact our constituents. Obviously, it would impact our tax revenue, right? If those businesses aren't operating at the levels that we're used to. So it's very important that we protect all those jobs, all those facilities, and keep those businesses running. Along with economic impacts that could come from a breach of that levee, what we would see is essential services for county residents, that would be affected for sites such as Evans Recycling, Mill Creek Water District Pump Station, City of Quincy Sewage Treatment Facility, Panhandle Eastern Pipeline. Ameren has, I don't even have a number for how many substations they have down in that part of the Highway 57 corridor. And then a 6-mile stretch of Illinois Highway 57 going south out of Quincy would be directly impacted. And really best case scenario, and I'll show you this on a map in a minute, we'd have 6 foot of water at the intersection of Highway 57 and Radio Road, moving back much higher into the 15-foot range. As you went west on Radio Road, you'd get much deeper there. So, we've been very fortunate to not have this happen, and we're really working hard to make sure that we keep that levee up. I know personally, because I have my own flood team that goes out and works on that levee, that becomes, during those flooding, especially those 500-year flood type events, I've got more than half my employees, along with working side by side with ADM and Fibro and all those companies to keep this levee sound, making it extremely important that we continue to do that. This is an inundation map that I got from the Corps of Engineers. Well, actually, I got it via the levee district, but that those kind of pinkish reddish areas, that's greater than 15 feet. If you look at that circle there, kind of where all that industry resides, you're looking 6 to 15 feet of water there. So all of that equipment, the buildings, the jobs, quite honestly, the mine, coals, all those things would be inundated with water. And just, as I said, you all have a copy of this. I just wanted to get some of the details out. So on the next slide, you see here, this is kind of the numbers we're at right now. Of course, the levee district started with using some of their own funds that they allocated towards this project. You can see there a breakdown of, everything in yellow is either requested or committed but not yet paid. Everything else is already paid. So they've raised a tremendous amount of money towards the project. There's over $1 million committed and over $882,000 already paid. And then, the following slide, this is just a breakdown for your purposes to see kind of what's committed and not paid, tremendous participation by local industry and businesses to get behind making sure that we support this levy. So call me, email me anytime if you have questions about this. It's a tremendously important project that affects literally thousands of people. And if that levee ever were to break during one of those events, the impact on this board and this county would be significant. So, you know, we had some conversations about there's more than one levee district in our county, and I understand that. But when you look at jobs, tax revenue, you know, just the massive impact, this particular levy has a very concentrated level of impact that we would see if anything were to happen where water got through. So, like I said, happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. Well, you know, basically, and I'm not a levy expert, so the answer I'm about to give you is going to be my common sense answer. What I would tell you is that our concern would be if West Quincy took all that sand that they've got on their levee and went higher, because the higher you get, the weaker a levee gets, right? So that's where our concern really lies. What I'm certainly not suggesting is that we don't consider those other levees. They're important to our county and our constituents too. This particular one, and that's the case I'm making here, is that literally thousands of jobs, people's lives, their paychecks, you know, none of those companies would probably run for a year. My company, the one that my livelihood is down there too. This is not a District 4 issue, but it is an Adams County issue. I would not be able to have my operation back up in a year. We'd be pumping that mine out for, I've heard numbers as high as 4 years. So it would be a huge impact to the area. And that's really what I was trying to do tonight, was show you the larger project and, you know, definitely convey the message that the number of people this will impact is huge. And I think these folks have done a phenomenal job of going out and raising their own money from the people in that district. I'm just asking that the county board says, hey, we're part of the team, and we're going to help, you know, support citizens and businesses while they try to get through it.
How high will this compare to like the 93 or the 73 floods? Is this above that level, or?
This would be back to what the Corps of Engineers recommends.
And so,
so on that
so
3 mile,
we'd be as high as the Fabius district.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And the issue here is not the entire levee; it's the 3 miles on the south end.
Yeah, I understand that.
So.
Okay. You've done a nice job. I wasn't really for this until I saw your presentation. I didn't realize that other entities that put money into this. That was kind of our concern.
And that's why I put this together, because I kind of knew that. I knew you didn't have all the information.
Yeah, we didn't know what we were funding, or
right.
I didn't know we were funding.
Right.
I had no idea, so this is really, really helpful on my behalf. Yeah.
So.
Amen.
All right. Any other questions regarding this? And like I said, if you think of something and want to give me a call, I'm not a levy expert. I'm not on the levy commission, but I do definitely see the importance of this for Adams County, for our citizens here, and our businesses. So,
All right, thank you, Mr. McQueen.
you bet.
Well done.
Thank you.
So this will come up next month. through executive, finance, and
Yeah, I'd like to say that we'll, to the county clerk, please bring this around on our executive committee agenda for next month. I think the missing component that you just heard was that it was a share of a larger investment, which is what we've said we would do with ARPA money. And I appreciate Mr. McQueen, and we appreciate all board members when they bring forward projects that they're passionate about and they have knowledge of. So good work on that. And then let's go through our October meetings for that consideration and take care of it in that part.
How'd we come up with 50,000?
That was their request.
They originally asked for 500, and that was months ago, or last year, I guess. They had originally asked for 500,000, and we had talked about it some then, but we were in the middle of many other things. There will still be a gap, even with the 50,000, but again, I think the point here is that the county getting on board with them and helping them with it is a valuable thing. It shows our support. They've done a phenomenal job raising over $1 million towards this project without asking anybody other than the businesses for anything. And I met with several of those plant managers last week, and you know, I think everybody's pretty proud of that they got in there. So 50,000 is a number that I kind of threw out at them, and I don't think they're going to turn it down.
When would they do the work?
Pardon?
After they raise the money, or when would they do the work?
Well, they've already done the preliminary engineering and all that. So what they're doing now, I mean, obviously the engineering work's expensive, but the materials are a greater expense, and they're just making sure that they've got all their ducks in a row to be able to bring enough material in to do the work that they need to do, and that's that 87,000 cubic feet of sand. So,
all right. Thank you.
You bet.
We don't have any further business. We will bring that around in the October meetings. Thank you, Mr. McQueen. I don't have anything further for the Finance Committee. Our next meeting will be October 14th. I believe that's right because of the date switch, right, Ryan?
That is correct.
October 14th at 6 o'clock here in the county boardroom. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. New business.
New business, we have no travel vouchers for the board. We have monthly reports from the Supervisor of Assessments, Board Review, Juvenile Detention Center, the County Clerk and Recorder's Office, the Public Defender's Office, the Circuit Clerk's Office, Information and Technology's Office, Probation Department, monthly check register for August 2024, and Fund Summary Report for August 2024, including revenue and expenses.
Motion to receive, file, and forward.
Motion by Mr. Deucehouse.
Second.
Second by Mr. Zanger. All in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
No resignations. We have 2 appointments. First one's for Glenn Sanders to the Sheriff Merit Commission for a 6-year term.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Mr. Zanger, second by Mr. Post. Oh, by Mr. Handcamper. All in favor? Opposed? Appointment is approved.
Appointment of James Taylor to the Housing Authority of Adams County.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Post, second by Ms. Fletcher. All in favor? Opposed? Mr. Taylor is approved. There no action necessary, but I did want to mention Tony and I have the sheriff. It's a little tough to call him the sheriff one. I've known him since I was 10, which was another century. I've been on him about school resource officers. I'm a big proponent of kids, and like, in case you didn't know that, music kids, sports kids, all kids, and I've been telling him I would like to have a school resource officer at every high school in Adams County, and he's pledged to do this. And we were going to do them one at a time, and then Georgia happened, and I called Tony and I said, "It's not one at a time. It's next year." And he said, "I already got it in my budget." So with your help and Tony's help and God's help, we're going to put a school resource officer in every school in Adams County in the next year. Yeah. That's what happens when old friends get together. Okay, so.
Correspondence.
What's that?
Correspondence.
Oh, correspondence, sorry.
I have correspondence from MLCR. It's a MLCR 3A from Mill Creek Quarry for permit number 196929.
Motion to receive, file, and forward?
Motion by Mr. Dewstrauss,
Second?
second by Mr. Zanger. You're never gonna beat him out of that one. All in favor? Opposed? So ordered. We're going to go into executive session for. Yeah, go ahead.
For the purpose
So we're back in regular session. There'll be no action taken. We're back in regular session now. Back in regular session. There'll be no action taken for what we discussed tonight. And with that said, Mr. Austin.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I need to make a motion to suspend the September 10th meeting that we're in, county board meeting, for the purpose of setting the levy until the stated December 10th, 2024 county board meeting.
Motion by Mr. Austin,
Second.
second by Mr. Cooley. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The September 10th meeting, 2024 county board is suspended until December 10th of 2024 for the purpose of setting the levy. Next meeting is October 8th. That work?
Yeah, well,
Oh,
it should be the 15th.
That's Ryan's error, not mine.